Think I nailed it. Too bad they would appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Cody.
Yeah, me too.
All right, well, we have 3 people now in queue, so I guess we'll say good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Corporate Crash Course. Tonight we're doing something a little bit different because we are down a couple of members, as you can see. So I figured we should pivot and do something I've been thinking about doing for a little while now, and that is to play some Vaesen. Vaesen is a lovely game created by Free League, mostly focused on Scandinavian folklore, but I kind of love the idea of doing it wherever. So, I'm going to just stop the music now, so I can actually start to get into it. Cool. That was an awkward transition, but whatever. So, my name is Cody. I'll be running the game tonight. Vaesen does not have a special name for the game master, so I'm just the game master, I guess.
Game master's a special name.
Oh, thank you. That is, it does make me feel kind of special. And I'm joined by my friends. We'll start off with Zoe.
That's me.
Hey, Zoe. And then we have
that would make me Mike.
Yes.
Just like the sign says.
Wow.
Yes.
Who would have known?
So, Vaesen is an investigative game about trying to help resolve problems that people are having with folklore. It's set in the 19th century when things are starting to change, industrialization is happening, and so a lot of the old ways of life are starting to kind of go by the wayside. And the game's framework is basically to say that, well, that means that a lot of old traditions with folkloric monsters and stuff are kind of starting to be forgotten, and this creates problems. We'll get into more about the lore of what your characters are specifically in a minute, I guess. But to give you two and our lovely audience the background of what I'm looking to set up with this, I'm taking this setting, picking it up out of Sweden, even though that's where I'm planning your characters to be from, and I am moving it all the way over into Canada. We are going to play a Canadian folklore version because it's more interesting to me, and I like Canada because that's where we live. So there you go. That's really my reason.
Canada.
Yep. So
I mean, you don't really need much more reason than you want to, so.
Exactly. This is my world. I get to do what I want with it. So, the setting we're moving into, it is 1850. You both find yourselves aboard a steamship bound for, well, it's not really known as the New World anymore because it's been established for, it's been, it's been being quote unquote discovered for about the past 200 years. So you're moving yourselves over to British North America in order to do things. In my mind, I have it that you have been picked up by the society back in Sweden and basically kind of told to head over that way because it's a new area. And so there are new challenges which your special brands of powers might be able to help. So we'll start the game aboard the steam vessel Canada. That is the name of the ship. It's confusing. I know. That's fine. Let's not think too hard about it. And you've been on board for about a week so far. Steam Travel has made this transatlantic voyage amazingly fast now. What used to be months of travel in a traditional ship now takes about 8 days, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. So, I'm going to have you guys kind of introduce. This is Toasts. This is Toasts. Hello. Yeah, I'll have you guys introduce yourselves on the boat, and we'll start to kind of go about this. Who are you bringing along?
I'm bringing along Ingrid.
Okay. Who is Ingrid?
Ingrid is an occultist.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
So basically you.
Yeah. I thought, you know what? Why not mix it up?
Yep.
Why not mix it up and play a character that's just basically me?
Yeah.
You know, I never do that.
No, of course not.
And I've got Eagle, the hunter, grizzled old hunter.
No, grizzled.
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 What's your grizz level?
How high does it go? Just one below that.
Just one below fully grizz. Got
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
One less than full grizz.
One less. Exactly.
Perfect.
So I'm assuming then that the two of you look pretty out of place on this steamship. While transatlantic travel is more commonplace now, it's still fairly expensive. You both have been kind of gifted with your tickets, told to essentially take as many of your belongings as you can with you because you're expected to set up shop over there. But given that you are a grizzled old hunter and an occultist, I assume what that basically means a bag. Maybe some bones from the sounds of it for Ingrid.
Oh, always bones. And a rabbit.
Oh, good.
That's my rabbit.
Nice. Nice. I like that. So, while you're kind of aboard ship, everybody else is, more upper crust, kind of side glancing at the two of you as they walk past. Do you want you two to have known each other before, or are you basically meeting on the ship?
I mean, we've probably met before. Well,
I would think so.
Mr. Grizz here is out hunting and I'm out foraging,
And I based on that, I don't think we get along very well.
What do you mean? I've got a dead rabbit.
Well, so there is one more thing.
I guess I can't argue with that, eh?
So there's two things that would bind your characters together. One being a part of what's known as the Society, which is a group of individuals who you may know more or less about, but we're going to say probably less of. The legend is that they are kind of more involved in folklorish traditions. And the two of you are also both known as what are Thursday's children. It comes from a nursery rhyme, which explains Monday's child is fair of face, Tuesday's child is full of grace, Wednesday's child is full of woe, Thursday's child has far to go. Friday's child is loving and giving, Saturday's child works hard for a living, and the child that is born on the Sabbath day is bonny and blithe and good, yay. And that nursery rhyme doesn't really tell us anything, but what both of you have known while you've been growing up is that apparently you can see things that other people can't. What a lot of people would put up to happenstance or magic, you both know is actually the work of kind of these legendary creatures, which nobody else seems to be able to see. So, for example, one year a farmer is laid up sick and is woeing that he will not be able to harvest all of his crops in time, and suddenly he wakes up one morning and everything has been harvested. While you sat there all night watching the fairies harvest his crops for him, because the man had been faithfully supplying the fairies with their yearly tithes and helping to appease them. So you've learned from a very young age that it's not a very common thing, and so for this reason the society has sought you out in order to help deal with some of the problems, like I mentioned, which seem to be cropping up as a result of things like industrialization. People are forgetting the old ways. You are, well, I mean, based on both of the characters, you're not. You are very much stuck in the old ways, Mr. Grizzled Hunter and Mrs. Occultist. And like I said, we are on a trip to a brand new world to see what that kind of means. Is there anything more you want to talk about with your character for the moment?
I mean, Eagle doesn't have much to say.
Yeah, neither does.
Does Eagle have an eagle?
Eagle,
sorry. Eagle
does not have an eagle.
Oh.
I might have an eagle's doll.
Then here we go.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
The 8th day, you guys wake up. The horn on the ship is going off, and as you come up on the deck, you can see a city on the coast, which I guess was probably starting to come into view probably yesterday, but now is much closer. It's fairly large. I mean, you docked at Liverpool, which is an ancient city, is absolutely massive in terms of ports, river trade. And what's cool is that this city, this port on this kind of coastlet is surrounded by dense forest. It's fairly busy looking from where you're kind of arriving. There's a lot of boat traffic into and out of the port where your boat seems to be heading. The city is built on the side of a giant hill, and on the top of the hill there is a large military fortification. I don't know, you guys learned much about British North America? Gonna assume not. But if this is the first port of call that you're kind of coming to in North America, very much makes sense that it would be decently fortified for naval protection. Because, you know, pirates and shit.
Yeah.
It's 1850s pirates, right? I guess.
Why wouldn't there be pirates? There's pirates now.
And the French.
That's true. All right. You pull into port. Your bag for each of you is offloaded from the boat. And at the dock, a little boy kind of approaches and is just like, I'm looking for an Ingrid and an Eagle? Yeah, it looks like it'd be you two. Okay. I have a letter here for you. And I think the thing that would probably strike the two of you, first of all, is that the little boy is black. Coming from Sweden, or Europe.
Like, hold on, why
general.
is that going to strike me?
Well, because it's 1850. Very
Forgot about that
uncommon
for a moment.
in Europe in the 1800s, right? Yeah, there was some slave trade up that far, but like realistically, who the hell is gonna risk feeding a person to come all the way from Africa up to Sweden? Yeah, he holds out this letter, just kind of like, are you guys okay?
I take the letter quickly.
Okay, and he just kind of slowly backs up.
I turn away from him and open it.
Okay, the letter is fairly simple. It basically just says like, transit to Toronto is not going to be ready for a day. You will be meeting Captain Johnson with his steamship to take you upriver. He will be ready on, I don't know, we'll say it's October 9th, which is 2 days from now. That's all the info you have for the moment.
The steamship's going to be picking us up in 2 days. Go to the train. The train's not ready.
I guess I'll hoist my pack and head out towards the woods.
And I will follow.
Well, woods is not far. You go through a bit of the city. I mean, right at the dock, basically, as you're kind of entering this great big sign that says, "Welcome to Halifax, Incorporated 1842." Yeah, as you trudge through a small part of the city. So, I mean, I don't really have context for what the size of the city in 1850 is going to be, but I'm assuming it's basically like a couple of streets in and around just past the harbor. There's a bunch of taverns you pass, hotels and such. Like I mentioned, there's the big hill kind of in the center with a large fortification. You see a bunch of soldiers in kind of classical British uniform. The fort up top has the little British flag waving in the wind.
Perfect.
And yeah, as you kind of trudge through, you notice that there's only really, I guess, probably at this point, one road out of town. Bunch of footpaths, just going right for the dense vegetation.
Yeah. Somewhere where I would find, I don't know, are there deer here? I would go looking for deer.
Of course there's deer here, it's Canada. Okay. Well, I mean, like I mentioned before, as you're kind of trudging through the town and making your way out, there are more. Yeah, exactly. Citadel Hill. There it is. Somebody knows what I'm describing. It's great. I'm trying, man. I've been to Halifax once. It's very steep up to Citadel Hill, if I remember correctly. Anyway, yeah, a lot more. There's a lot. I know I'm making a big thing about this, but again, it's really just because it's supposed to be 1850, and I'm trying to make sure that we're understanding and stuff. There's a lot of black people living in the city than you're used to seeing, and I stress that just now, but I really want to mention it more because, while it comes as an initial shock and something that you're not necessarily used to, I'm assuming you're probably aware to some degree about stories of slaves in the U.S. and whatnot, or in the Americas. It's probably nice to see that they're not. They're fully integrated into the society here. They are just happy. I would love to come back to Halifax. It's freaking beautiful. You see like multiple generations of families living together. You know, being a part of the society, which is just great. I'm happy about that because Canada's going to do a lot of things wrong in this game, but one thing we did good. Yep. So yeah, we end up in the forest. After about 15 minutes walk, you can't hear the city really anymore. You're still hearing the waves. You're still hearing the ocean because hey, you're on a bit of a peninsula of sorts. Water's always fairly close, and you do come to a small clearing, and you see some deer. We'll say you see a nice big buck, a fairly large doe, and 2 smaller babies. The sun is shining down, dappling into the clearing.
A beautiful little meadow.
Yep.
All right. Well, that feels like it's time to take out the rifle.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and shoot the buck.
Okay.
That was a weird choice.
As you line up your shot, something startles them, or appears to. The buck goes down. The doe and the 2 babies run up. But you didn't fire a shot.
I'm going to look at my rifle. Curious.
Nope. Still,
I'll look down the barrel of your rifle.
I wasn't going to look down the barrel.
Okay, I saw your hand turn up. I was like...
No, it was
yeah, no, your wick is still in there. You hadn't struck it or anything yet. You were
Did
just
I
pulling the...
hear anything?
Nope.
Do we see anything?
Not from where you're standing, just kind of on the outside of the clearing.
I would like to walk up to the buck.
Okay. You walk up to the buck, and you see a small hole that basically looks like it would have come from an arrow. It's punctured right through the... I guess the fastest way to kill a deer humanely would be to shoot it through the head, right?
You're supposed to shoot for the heart.
But wouldn't that mean
Never
it would
go
stay
for the
alive?
head.
But wouldn't that mean it would stay alive until its brain runs out of blood? Are you sure? Okay.
I would assume that's because that's where I shoot the deer. It's in the...
Well, it's also typically...
The best zone is like right behind the shoulder, under, and you're going for like vital
I'm
organ.
gonna trust you on this one.
That's where you're supposed to do it in New Brunswick. I don't know. That's the law.
We're in Halifax
Our
right
one-
now.
You never shoot for the head.
Yeah, no, it's Halifax. It's different. We have one commenter. Maybe they can tell us which is a better place to shoot.
Hey,
deer.
if
I
you
don't
know the hunting laws down there in Nova Scotia, let
This
us
is
know.
1850. There are no hunting laws.
Exactly, but
It's not about hunting laws. It's about what is the most humane and quick kill a
where
deer with an arrow.
do you
Oh
deer
my gosh, you're Googling.
with arrow? I'm pretty sure you take it through the... Yeah, you take it out. The goal of every shot you take is to take out the heart, lungs, or a combination of the two. You're always aiming for...
But I still think that means it's still gonna be alive until its brain runs out of oxygen.
Well, you don't want to shoot it in the head because you're likely not going to kill it.
Okay, fair enough. Fine. The shot is center mass, going right through the heart of the creature.
Cody learning in real time the issues with hunting and how inhumane it can be.
Yeah.
I've never hunted anything. I'll believe anything you tell me. No, that's a terrible idea. Don't listen to me, DZ. Clearly, I'm wrong.
I'm scared to tell people I hunt on stream. You know, I don't want anyone sending me hate mail for killing a deer.
Let me check real quick. Great. Our chat is checking for us, guys. Appreciate it.
I can go get my hunting textbooks from the closet.
Well, and I'm not trying to argue this point fully. It's more of a just like a... Because typically you want to go there because it's center mass. You want to hit middle. But I would just think, because of the way that, like, even human anatomy works, like, when you cut off someone's head or anything even like that, the brain stays alive until it runs out of oxygen. So that's why I'm saying, would it not be more humane and faster to try and hit something through the brain?
It would be, but a deer's brain is very small. Therefore, if you shoot it in the head, it's very likely to miss the brain, leaving the animal with an injury that doesn't kill it.
What if you go through the
eye? No, you can go through the eye and not hit the brain.
That is messed up.
Yeah.
Damn, nature, you scary.
There's a lot of articles around, like, you'll find deer with, like, arrows and stuff through their heads, and they're just walking around.
Point being, looks like it was shot by an arrow, but there's no arrow.
There's no arrow? Wait, what? Hold on.
No gunshot, no arrow.
No, there's a hole through it.
Can I flip the deer? I wanna look. I'll roll it.
You're gonna flip a 300-pound deer?
If I can do it, Ingrid can do it.
All right, Ingrid just grabs the legs and just
yeah.
Clean presses the deer up and then flips it over. No. Yeah, the hole goes right through it.
While Ingrid is examining this thing, I'm going to start tracking the other deer.
Thanks for that H-bomb. I'm still just trying to figure out how do we do it humanely and most quickly. I don't actually want the deer names.
Heart-lung combo.
Fine. I concede. You're so as you go looking for them, I mean, like, they ran out of there, so you can track kind of the move, like where the tracks they left behind. Okay.
Yep.
If you're just gonna keep following, well, fine. If you're just gonna keep following it, about 15 minutes later, you kind of catch up to them in a dense patch of forest. There's some fallen trees. It's guaranteed fatal. Okay.
Yeah. See? Yeah. I know what I'm talking about.
I'm not disputing the fact that it's a fatal shot. It was more the question of how quickly is it fatal, right? Like
maybe 2 seconds tops.
Okay. I'm just saying that was my whole... That's where I was coming from with it. Anyway, I keep losing track. 15 minutes later, you find them in a place, in a denser area. There's a bunch of trees kind of falling over and such. There's moss growing all over the place. And there's the doe and the babies. I don't know what Ingrid's doing at this point. The hole goes through the deer.
No one's come around since I've been, Nope. I will start field dressing this deer to take its meat.
Are you, trying to, search more around the area?
I would just do a quick like scan around like the trees and whatnot to see if I can see anybody, and if not, I will start. I will take out my
Okay.
dagger and start.
We're gonna let you
Putting up the
roll observation.
Oh gosh, my first roll. Oh no. Oh no, what do I do? Observation.
Do I have to tell you how much the difficulty is with this one again? I can't remember with the year 0 engine. Gills, here we go.
Okay. Can use observation to perform. No, that's not the one.
Right. Okay. So you roll the skill and the attribute attached to it.
Oh god.
All right. Come on, let's do it. First roll of the game. First roll of the game. First roll of the game.
How many dice do I roll?
So whatever your because you're doing an observation. So what's your empathy and your observation score?
Oh my gosh. Oh god.
Come on, Zoe. What do you got?
Oh.
What?
I know what I'm doing. I don't.
What's your value in both of those skills? And that skill and that attribute?
I don't know where to find it. What I'm doing.
Where's your character sheet?
In front of me, but I don't see that.
The numbers on the right side there. Empathy.
Yeah.
Under
So
attributes?
your attributes are in the top right corner, and your skills are down in the bottom right corner. So you need your empathy and you need your observation. And that's the number of d6s you get to roll.
I'm going to shoot at a deer.
Empathy. Okay. And then...
While we're waiting.
While we're waiting.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot a deer. Observation. Okay.
Okay. Mike, if you're ready faster, go ahead. Do ranged combat precision.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so many d6s. Is there a maximum number of d6s I can roll?
No, there's not.
Excellent. That's a success.
How many?
Just one.
Oh, okay. Bang! The doe goes down.
What about the
Excellent.
babies?
The babies scamper off and are now orphans.
I'm gonna go and hoist the deer onto my back and start making my way back to where I left Ingrid.
Yeah, this deer is only 250 pounds. It's fine. You hoist it up. You walk back to where you found Ingrid, who's still sitting there trying to figure out how to look around clearing.
Ingrid got 1 success.
Oh, you did? You didn't tell me that. Sorry.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure it out, but I got there. And he was shooting a deer. I didn't want to interrupt his doe orphan making.
Okay. You see something in one of the trees at the far side of the clearing. You can't tell specifically from where you are. It kind of maybe looks like a bear.
Oh.
But you have to pass a fear test now.
Oh, now I have to do a fear test? Oh
yeah.
my god. Criminal.
You need to do a logic or an empathy test.
Oh gosh. Logic.
Plus, since Eel has shown back up into the clearing, we're not accurate enough for a headshot. Thanks, H-Bomb. I'm assuming he went center of mass, though, with that one. We're just going to say he, pretty good. He was good enough to blow a hole in the side of the thing to get through the lung and the heart and kill it. That, or I'm assuming he basically, snuck up close enough to, basically butt the rifle up against the side of the deer before he shot.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either, but... Okay, so yeah, Zoe picked logic or empathy and rolled that number of dice. You also get a +1 because Eagle showed up.
Out of the
I get a plus for what?
onto the deer's back and pulled the trigger.
Perfect. Yes, you get a +1 because Mike is present.
Teamwork.
Ooh, success.
You got 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm nervous.
It doesn't make you terrified, but your brain is telling you that it's got to be some kind of a bear or something, but it doesn't actually really look like a bear. It just looks like a really dark shadow from where you are right now.
Okay.
It's not moving.
So, big bear.
Big bear, yes.
Got it. There's a bear.
A bear shot the deer?
Yep. That's what's logical. I don't know if a bear shot this deer, but there's a bear.
I want to go and look at wherever Ingrid is pointing to and see what I can see.
Pointing that way.
Are there tracks or anything? Or signs of something having been through here?
No. If she points it out and you kind of start walking over towards it, you do notice a large shadow sitting up in a tree. And we'll get you to do your test too.
Did you say that's empathy or logic?
Correct.
That is 1 success.
Okay. You're getting closer to it. It's not a bear. It's a very large man. Sitting high up in the tree, close towards the top of it. He's got very tanned skin, again, coming from Northern Europe. Not something you're super used to. You're assuming, based on stories you've probably heard in the ship, like he's some kind of a native. Very, very tan skin, black hair. and he is just staring the two of you. Not at the same time, because you're in different places now.
Is he holding a weapon?
He has a bow in his hand.
Like
Is
a bow
it
and arrow, or like a bow like
drawn?
ribbon?
No, it's not drawn. It's just being held. He's not like aiming at you.
I'm going to subtly make sure that my rifle is loaded.
Considering you shot the deer, you can't subtly. You basically have to put the deer down.
Oh, I would have put the deer down when I got back to the clearing.
Put more gunpowder into your rifle, and then stuff a musket ball down into it, and then, like, put the wick in. And
You think I
While
went
you're-
through
A lot of
the
effort
woods
to shoot a
before
deer.
reloading?
while you're staring at this gun, you didn't mention that you reloaded, so
I thought
yes,
that
I
was
am
implied.
assuming. Why would it be implied?
You can't
You're
imply
you're gonna
reload.
carry a deer with a loaded rifle that's not in your hands? Really?
That's dangerous.
Mm,
There's no safeties on rifles at this time.
That's an interesting point. Okay. Okay.
Like, you can argue with me if you want. I'm just saying that, like,
I mean, I think I'd know better than to wander through the woods without
Okay,
a loaded
okay,
rifle.
fine,
But
fine.
you have a good point, but I don't know how I would carry my rifle and the deer.
Then
so
better way that we can square the circle.
you win this argument.
Better way we can square the circle is as soon as Ingrid's like, there's a bear in the tree, that's when you would have loaded your rifle before you walked up to look at the thing.
I still don't love that I walked through the woods without a loaded rifle.
Well, wasn't it loaded when you were
Me.
going to get the deer?
You were carrying a deer. Like, when would you?
No,
have
you're absolutely right.
You have knives on you too and stuff. So like, or I assume you have knives on you.
Oh, I do have
So, like,
knives on me.
If something attacked you, you have knives and shit to deal with it.
No, that's true.
I'm sorry, guns are harder to be used in the 1850s.
I should hope so.
Less practical.
Thank you for your apology.
Anyway,
is this guy just is he doing anything?
just staring at the two of you.
Love that.
I'm just gonna start to back away from it.
Okay. He doesn't do anything. He just sits in the tree.
All right. Ingrid, take the deer.
Take the deer? Oh, I take the deer.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
We have a
We're
hunter.
leaving.
We have a hunter, and we have an occultist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're trying to move a 300-pound and a 250-pound deer.
No, it's just my deer.
We're just taking your deer.
The doe? Yeah.
Okay, so you're leaving
I will
the
take
buck.
2 hooves
Yeah,
and
that's his buck.
Oh,
I'll take 2 hooves and I'll let him get 2 hooves and we'll
well, I mean, he's got it slung over his, or he could just sling it back over his shoulders again like he did before. But
he could, but he told me to take the deer.
I don't want to let go of my gun right
I will drag
See,
the deer.
again,
Welcome
if
to
you
inch
Inch
by
to watch
inch.
the
have a
man do.
rifle. What are you like? 2 hooves in one hand and like hip the rifle that
No,
way?
that's why Ingrid's taking the deer. I'm holding on to my
Oh,
rifle.
you're putting the deer on her back. Okay. Right. Okay, I gotcha. So Ingrid's carrying this thing on her own.
Yeah, although
Perfect.
I'll go and help her with it once we leave the clearing.
Okay. That's
But as long as we're in the clearing and I can see this guy, I'm holding my rifle.
okay. You leave the clearing. The guy doesn't move.
Okay.
And I'm assuming then you sling your rifle and
Yeah.
take the
And
deer
then I'll
back.
take the deer, yeah.
And then where are you guys going with the deer?
back to town.
Okay. We're back in the city now.
I guess before we actually get into the city proper, I'd like to start dressing and skinning this thing.
Okay. You're a hunter, so I assume that you have no problem actually doing that.
I certainly hope so, because I, Michael, cannot tell you much more about what Egil does. Zoe might be able to help with that, but not me.
Now, from what I've seen in the movie Into the Wild, what you want to do is you need to get the skin off the thing, and you need to get it smoking basically right away before the maggots can get to it. Because unlike what happened in that movie, you don't want the maggots to get to it, otherwise the meat goes bad.
So my plan is to prepare the meat and then take whatever the two of us are going to need for a couple of days, and then take the rest into town and look for a butcher.
So again, based on the movie that I've seen, which is the only reference I have to how this works properly, you're basically going to skin it, pull a bunch of meat off of it, make like a fire under like some kind of ground, with a chimney that leads into a section where you're gonna put the meat on like leaves and shit, and then you're gonna cover that so that it'll just smoke and cook, and then not get a bunch of maggots. Basically, what I'm saying is go watch Into the Wild. It's a good movie.
It is a good movie. Did you field dress the deer? Did you take its insides out in a place that's not where we're staying so that it doesn't attract
bears?
Predators?
I wasn't planning to stay here.
That would be like the he would have done. God. Got out of the clearing, just dumped the deer, gutted it, and then carried it further to then do the skinning and the cooking.
But you're not supposed to skin and cook it right away. You're supposed to hang it to bleed out for a while and then...
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yeah, and then you're like, so usually we'd hang it overnight, go back out the next day, skin it, and then butcher it.
That makes sense. Maybe I'll just take it to... I'll go looking for a butcher.
Okay. So you're bringing your gutted field-dressed deer into town.
Yeah.
Still slung over your shoulders, which is fair.
Absolutely.
Dripping blood the whole way.
Yep. Pretty much.
We'll never get off. We'll know how to get back.
Yeah. Lead the bears right to the city. Yeah, so you get into the city. Again, it's not a very big city. There's a sign for a butcher.
All right, I'll go over to the butcher with the deer.
All right. You open the door and there's a little ding, and you hear a "Top of the morning to you, laddie. What can I do for you?" You'd see like behind him. So there's kind of like he's got like a countertop out in front, and then he's got a couple of like carcasses in behind. You see like you see some other deers. It's got something really big, with like black hair and like antlers, which is just dwarfed the deer carcasses. I don't know if you guys would have seen a moose before in Scandinavia. Or moose in Sweden. Is that
caribou?
It's not a moose.
I see moose here. I don't know about Sweden.
Oh my God, Zoe, we're not. It's not.
Well, we aren't here. We are literally here. I have a deer.
Ah, of course. You're hoping to get some butchery done on that there deer. It's a beauty, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Great. Well, look, the traditional way that we would handle this, I'm assuming just fresh, just killed it. I mean, from the look of the blood in it, I'd say so. All right. Well, typical process from here on out is we take it. We're gonna hang it for another day, let it bleed out, and then we'll do the skinning and the tanning for you, and we'll butcher the meat and get you back here maybe. Oh, I don't know, in about 2 days' time. We'll have it all nicely processed and packaged up for you.
It's yours. I just want 2 days meat.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. I very much appreciate that. I'll have 2 days worth of meat ready for you. Are you looking for some? Do you need some right now?
Ideally. Yes.
You're looking for more of a trade situation. Okay. Well, I got some venison in the back there that I guess I could switch up for this. You know what? Yeah, this is a beautiful looking doe, if I do say so again, sir. So sure, here you go. And he kind of ducks into the back room and then comes back out with 2 kind of packages wrapped in butcher paper. Looking at the size of them, you figure they're probably about, I don't know, say 3 pounds each. So it looks like he's probably giving you some nice kind of smoked loin. Yeah, pleasure doing business with you there, sir.
Thank you. And I'll leave.
Hey, were you looking for anything else? Can I? Oh, okay. You're gone. Great.
Absolutely am.
He's vanished into the night, never to be seen again.
What now?
Wow, did you know that moose are in fact in Europe?
Ooh.
Not like Northern Europe, but in like the Baltics and stuff. Oh no, Scandinavia. Here we go. Cool. Good seeing you, H-Bomb. Hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Yeah.
So there you go, you got some moose. As you step back out into the street, it is, we'll say mid-afternoon now. The city is bustling, we'll call it. People are kind of running around. You see some fishermen back with, boatloads of the day's catches from out on the sea. And as you're kind of, I don't know, what are you guys gonna do?
Those who better make camp.
Yeah, probably.
Right, I'm just gonna start walking back out of town. Having an exciting day today.
As you're heading out of town, you feel somebody tug on your wrist. I don't know, you're wearing long sleeve shirts and tug on your wrist, kind of. Turn around and you see a young native girl. She looks to be about 11 or 12. And she looks up at you with very kind of deep, dark eyes and just kind of says, in slightly broken English, "Do you see my brother?"
No. No. Do you see your brother?
Oh, well, come with me and to see him. Starts trying to pull you by the cuff.
But go with you where?
We got a cabin. We got a cabin.
Should we go to the cabin? Should we go to the cabin?
Why should we go to a cabin?
Because this child's pulling on me.
Who needs a roof? Who needs 4 walls and a roof? I can just sleep in the woods.
Was it an offer of a place to stay? Did I misunderstand?
Are you offering a place for us to stay?
I mean, sure.
The child said yes.
All right.
Oh, excellent. And she starts leading you down the only road, or out of the down the only road out of town. After a little bit, she kind of turns down another path, and as she's walking, she's kind of telling you, she's like, "Oh, thank you. Most people don't really want to talk to me. As you can see, there's not many of my people, kind of, in the village there. We're still kind of mostly, left to our own devices. Although, really, who knows how much longer that's gonna."
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm really glad that you guys have agreed to come with me. Nobody really wants to come and see my brother. Although most of the time, even if they get out there, they can't really see him.
Oh, why can't people see your brother?
Oh, I mean, I don't really know. I think maybe he's got some kind of like affliction or something.
And I'm sorry, and
No, like an affliction. I don't know. Like it's just kind of strange. And eventually, she leads you to. So there's this. You kind of enter into another clearing. And there's a nice little lake, and you can see on the side of the lake, there's this beautiful log cabin. Not maybe floating log cabin. I don't know. I'm not well versed enough in this to say specifically how, but sure, it's made of wood and animal skins, and I'm trying really hard not to be racist with it. Yep. She opens the front flap, and there's a nice fireplace kind of in the center. There are some seats kind of around it. She ushers you into a couple of seats.
All right.
Does it look pre-colonial? I mean, yes.
All right. I will sit. I will make sure that I have my hunting knife within easy reach.
Okay. As she's beckoning you in there, you suddenly hear footsteps outside, and you hear a large bump just outside of the tent. She's like, "Oh, great, he's here!" And you see the curtain kind of draw open, and it's the guy from the tree. And she's looking at the two of you, and she's just kind of like, "So, do you see him?"
Of course. He's standing right there.
Now, wait. Okay, a lot of people tell me that. But I need to know that you're telling me the truth. So, what is his shoulder strap made of? And as you look in greater detail, the shoulder strap on his bow, it appears to be made of a rainbow. How that's possible? It's anybody's guess.
I've never seen anything like that.
Okay, maybe that's just a good guess then. What's his bowstring made of? And it's like it's like a distilled pulling of the Milky Way galaxy into a thread, which seems to kind of give off this glow, and also this absence,
starlight,
like space. Wow. Okay, so you really can see him. See, I don't know how you can. Nobody else can. It's kind of really weird.
What is he?
He's a person. As you look at him, like, he does appear to you as just as a man, as a large man. He looks like he's about 6'7", like I mentioned before. He's very tanned. He's got black hair and brown eyes. Wearing like a leather skirt and headband, which has some feathers kind of sticking out of the bottom of it. And then she looks at the two of you, and particularly she looks at Ingrid and is like, "Great. Well, since you can definitely see him, now you gotta get married to him." Now that would have been funnier for Zoe's reaction if she wasn't muted.
Yeah.
Why did I hit the mute button?
I don't know.
Oh, what? When you sneezed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do that. I do mute when I sneeze and then forget that I mute. Hold on, what?
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the deal. So nobody's
well,
been able
what
to
deal? I didn't agree to a deal.
Been able to see him while he's been growing up, and you know the spirits have told me that once somebody can see him, then he's got to get married to them to be able to live, you know, happily for the rest of his life. Oh yeah, sorry, my mistake. Sir, would you like to get married to my brother?
You can see him too.
Well, yeah, but I'm his sister. That'd be just weird. I mean, what? Okay,
right, that's the weird part.
New proposition. What about the three of you together? You know, to get like a group thing.
So now you want me to not only marry your brother, but this guy too?
Yes.
What do I get out of it?
We should
two hunting husbands.
What if I don't want a husband?
I'm gonna get up and start to leave.
Oh, look, okay, fine. I know it's tough sell. Look, can you just please help me then at least?
Help you how?
I'm trying to find somebody to marry him.
What? Hold on. Why does he need to get married?
Because he's unhappy. Can't you look at him? And he's still just standing there, very like stoically and quietly.
So you think a spouse is going to make him happy?
Well, yeah, because otherwise he's basically spending all of his days like either out hunting for us, or he's maybe going on killing rampages, killing a bunch of soldiers because, you know, the British have kind of subjugated our people. And, you know, it's not really a great thing, and he's still kind of unhappy about it because they killed our mom and dad, and yeah.
I still don't quite see how getting him a spouse is gonna fix everything.
Well, we gotta try something. One of these days he's gonna get killed by a rogue shot. I know nobody can see him, but like, I don't want that to happen, okay?
So he's not already dead?
Look dead to you?
I mean, if we're the only ones who can see him, yeah.
Just pat him on the shoulder to see if he's there.
He is there. He is solid. He looks at you very
tempted to stab
strangely
him.
as you touch him.
I'm very tempted to stab him. But I feel like it's not going to go. No. I feel like it's not going to go well if I do, but I'm very tempted to stab him. Nah, I don't think that a wife's gonna make everything better. I look at the brother and I'm like, do you want to get married to somebody?
He just stares at you.
But he didn't say yes, and if you're not 100% in, you're out.
Well, I mean, that's not fair. He doesn't speak English.
What does he speak?
I barely speak English. He speaks.
Then how? Hold on. How is he going to get married to someone who only speaks English if he doesn't know? That's not going to help anybody.
Well, if they get married, then they could spend the rest of their lives working on communication, and grow a special communication together. I've heard that if it's a more difficult communication situation, it can actually blossom into a more fulfilling relationship.
Where did you hear this?
Spirit?
Oprah.
I don't believe you. I think you're a liar.
Well,
and I turn to walk away.
Fine, get out.
No, you don't tell me to get out. I'm leaving.
Well, fine then, you leave, and I'm just gonna tell you to get out.
No, you didn't. I don't want you thinking you kicked me out, because you didn't. I'm leaving.
This is my house. I can kick you out if I want to. I don't want you here.
Not if I'm already gone. And I try and slam the curtain door.
it just kind of like... Okay.
I just stand outside because I don't know where to go. My friend's still in there.
No, I think
Who's
you go...
in there? I left ages ago.
Oh, you left me? Okay, I catch up to you. Wherever you are.
As he's munching on his deer jerky.
To find a place to stay for the night.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of forest. You saw a lot of hotels in the city.
Huh. Right. Hotels. Let's see if there's a clearing around here.
Of course there's a clearing around here. Of course there's not a clearing around here. You're surrounded by forest.
Well, find a place.
Okay.
Preferably with like thick canopy in case it rains. A lot of vegetation.
And nobody that's trying to arrange marriages.
Be nice and soft. Be a place for maybe not a fire.
Well, why would you need a fire?
Yeah, probably no fire.
Because it gets cold.
Well, not if you're under the canopy and you have...
I've lived in Canada all my life, and this is the first time learning that canopy will keep it warm.
If you had taken the deer skin from the butcher instead of just giving him the entirety of the deer in exchange for 2 days worth of meat.
Or I could just light a fire.
Could do that.
Which I will do.
Okay. You light a fire. The woods sound very much like the woods back home. You hear various animals, you hear owls hooting, you maybe hear wolves kind of far off in the distance. You still hear the sea, because we are in beautiful, beautiful Halifax. What you guys just... Do your characters just not talk? I feel like I'm having to fill in all of this silence because the two of you are just staring at each other across the fire for 6 hours.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
yeah.
This is great. You guys picked the greatest combination of characters.
Yeah. It's like when you watch those weird, those indie movies where they're just sitting, it's always quiet, but you hear background noise, and that's it. No talking, just walking. You hear leaves crunching through the woods the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Hands in and out of just walking around. That's the whole scene of us hanging out.
Great.
Yeah, get up, tend to the fire, lay down, sleep a bit,
Here's some crackle noises.
Okay.
Give Ingrid her package of meat.
Yeah, my meat. You hear like jerky chewing and the crackle of the fire. Then it pans back.
Well, fine. Morning comes. You both are very rudely awoken by basically having a rifle in both your faces. And you hear a soldier basically being like, all right, get them both up. Come on. Who are you two? You don't look familiar.
So
no, we've never met.
Just one guy?
No, there's a group of them. There's about, we'll say 5. There's a person with a gun on each of you, and there's kind of 3 more just kind of milling about around the outside of your camp, trying to maybe see if there's more people.
I'll look them. Of course, we don't look familiar. We've never met before.
You're not like them gross Irish or something, right?
What?
The Irish, the second class gross potato eaters.
I don't eat potatoes.
Okay, well then, if you're not Irish, based on the look of your skin, you're not native either. So, what are you? You don't sound British.
We were sleeping.
So why were you sleeping out in the woods?
Where do you sleep?
In the city? In the barracks? With the other soldiers?
We have no barracks.
I don't have to answer your questions. What do you... Look, it's not safe for you guys to sleep in the woods. Why are you out here?
Because we needed a nap.
Well, I mean, it kind of is my... Fine, I mean, it's not my concern, but I'm just trying to do my good duty for the people of this bloody city, you know, when we get shit like this. Look, fine. Whenever this frickin' white man killer gets around to it, you don't come crying to us when you start getting holes in your frickin' chests and stuff. For no reason, okay?
You think this white man killer's the guy that kid tried to get us to marry?
Sorry, what are you saying? Do you know who it is? Do you know what it is?
Was I talking to you?
Look, I'm just really stressed out about this whole thing, okay? Like, I was brought over here, and he starts giving you a whole life story, because of course he does, because that's what I want to do, because neither of you want to fucking talk. You know, I was brought over here and from a young age, and I grew up in this town, and, you know, I attended the military academy here, and, you know, I've been, you know, decorated and raised up from a lowly private up to, you know, whatever the hell rank I am now, and, you know, I'm doing my best trying to help people, and all I get is guff. But look, if you didn't have people like us, those bloody Indians would have come and murdered all of you guys a long time ago.
Hey, this guy's kind of annoying. Should we bring him to the little tent thing and have the guy murder him?
I don't hate that idea.
What if I told you that we know exactly where your murdering man is?
Well, I mean, I don't even know if it is. I mean, nobody's been able to actually see what it is. Some of my group think it's maybe a bear or something. They're like, how could a bear create such small, like, precise holes in people's bodies? I've lost like 10 men in the last week. I don't have the people to staff this much death, okay?
Do you want us to take you to the murder man or not?
I mean, can we get more people? Do we have time to, like, Johnson, can you go back and
I mean, he might be on the move. Get
some more crews. Well, okay, you know what? We'll wait for it. We got to get more people, because if this is the threat, I'm not going up against this with just 5 of us.
Oh, we kind of gotta
boat to catch to get to the train. So I don't know if we have time to wait around.
Well, fine. What? Jeez, just fine. All right, we'll go.
Did we give them the runaround first and waste most of the day, or not?
No. Let's take them.
Lead the way.
All right, I'll take them to the cabin.
All right, you walk them back, and the cabin is still there on the edge of the lake. It's a beautiful clearing. Again, sun dappling down into the calm, clear water. Yeah, they're just like, oh, this is the place you're talking about?
Yeah, I'll just nod towards it. One of these.
All right, well, Johnson, you go first, okay? You kind of
see how little I can actually talk for you.
Walks up, kind of slowly, just like peers around, peers inside, opens the curtain.
Did we ever get the guy's name?
No. Or the girl, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
Johnson's head pokes back out. There's nothing here, sir. Fire's cold. So, is this some kind of joke? What you guys?
No, this is really
I'm going to ignore him and start walking towards the house.
Okay, you do.
I'm going to go in and take a look around.
It says Johnson mentioned. The fireplace in the center is cold. There's nobody in here.
Where have they gone?
I'm gonna skim around and just be like, hello?
Any tracks leading away from the building?
You see some footprints that look like they belonged to probably the little girl. Walking back towards the road. Nope, you don't see a second set of footprints.
I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah, I don't either.
Would it have been funnier or worse for me to have him just standing there the whole time and have the two of you be able to see him and nobody else?
I was kind of hoping he would just murder them all, but...
No. Well, look, thanks for wasting my time, you guys. We're going to go back to protect the city and fortify it, because that's our job.
Yeah, good. Protect it from those sleeping in the woods.
Have fun with whatever this wild goose chase is, and frankly, I hope I never see you two again. And you walk away.
Rude.
I like them. I don't think this is a man.
The guy that was yelling at us, or the person we could see but nobody else can?
The invisible man who wears a bow with a belt of rainbow and a bowstring of starlight.
Sounds beautiful when you say it that way, Mike.
I imagine it was pretty awe-inspiring.
As you guys stand around deciding what to do,
or monitor.
After a little... So cool. Thank you. Actually, it was Mike that's so poetic. I should say thank you to Mike for that, I guess. I don't know. But eventually, yeah, you suddenly hear somebody scream from further up the trail, and you just hear, Johnson!
All right, I'll start towards it.
Eventually, you come upon the guy I gave no name to, cradling the head of Johnson, who is coughing up blood. He has a hole right through his center. I'm like, no, we can't. You have to live for your 14 children, 9 of which will probably survive infancy.
Remind us that we're in the 19th century, eh? Which way did it come from?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He was standing facing like that way, and I don't know. It came from the forest somewhere.
All right, I'm gonna take a look around, see if I can see any big bear men.
You don't. Forest is dense, though.
Go back to town.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Johnson. We'll take you home to your wife and your mistress and your other mistress and
Now.
your third mistress. Okay, you get back to the city. Johnson is stone cold dead by the point that they get him back to the city.
Oh my god.
Okay. As you walk into town, you bump into what you're pretty sure is a woman, but she's got her face covered, and all you kind of hear is excuse me, sorry. She just kind of keeps wandering. She's got her face covered and her hands covered.
All right. What would I like to do?
Would you like to go gambling? Would you like to go drinking? Would you like to go
I would
fishing?
like to wander around. Where did we run into the little girl yesterday? I'd like to go over there.
Well, that would have been between Main Street and First Street, being the only 2 streets in Halifax. And as you
So to make sure I understand that, the first street in Halifax is Main Street, and the second street is First Street.
You're correct.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, no, sorry, you're mistaken. First Street was first, Main Street was second.
Oh, okay, that's less fun.
Just to confuse things. It was made third, which is slightly outside of town.
Did you know the most common street name is Second Street? Because the first street usually gets renamed to Main Street?
Oh, dropping some real lore on us. Typically.
Yeah, I want to go back looking for where we met the little girl yesterday.
Cool. You do. She is still kind of hanging around. You notice her trying to talk to pretty much every other woman she kind of sees in town, but none of them are giving her any time of day. Not in the sense, they kind of they seem to act like she's invisible, but she's not actually invisible. You just see them just tugging on them and stuff. They're all too hoity-toity with their Victorian era dresses and things. What would women in Halifax do with that? Gamble?
Yep.
What else is there to do?
You cook,
Not much.
you clean, you sew.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. Not high society. They wouldn't be doing that.
there be high society women in Halifax?
Probably a few. There's money in Halifax.
Yeah, I suppose there is. That's true.
Somebody owns the shipping company. Somebody owns Alexander Keith's Brewery was opened in 1820. So that exists in Halifax.
I'm gonna go over to the little girl and I'm gonna say, is your brother killing people?
Oh hey, you're back. So did you think it over? Did you actually want to marry him now?
When did you meet him?
Well, I mean, I've known him my whole life. He's my brother. What do you?
How does he kill people?
I told you he kills people.
How does he do it?
He's got arrows. His bow has arrows.
Do we see an arrow in Johnson?
Nope.
In the deer?
Same with the deer. Nope.
I've not seen any arrows.
Well, I mean, maybe they're magic, you know. They're like arrows, but they're not arrows, you know.
Why does he kill people?
Well, I mean, like I said, he's still mad at those British soldiers because they killed their parents. You know, plus there's the whole like they're trying to take over our land and like slowly kill us or enslave us or put us into some sort of. I mean, the worst thing you could think of is that they would, you know, put us onto small plots of land and then not let us do anything else. That was really bleak to say. That felt gross.
Yeah.
So, did you want to marry him, or can I go back to, you know?
Where is he now?
I don't know, hunting or something. He got stuff to do. Look, I already told you how we solve this problem. We find him a wife or a husband, I guess, because, you know, we're weirdly progressive for the 19th century. And then the problem will go away. Love conquers all, and such, you know.
What? I don't really think that's how it works.
What would you like? Really? Are you married? Do you know what marriage fixes?
It fixes nothing.
Because you've never been married.
But if you're just arranging a marriage for him, there's no love to conquer all, you know?
Well, like, you know, I've been told that love isn't something that just kind of like is there. Like, love is something you have to really work towards. It's something that both people within the couple have to like decide to do on a daily basis and like work to build together. You know, nobody thinks that love just appears, because that would be stupid.
Yes.
Great, so you're gonna marry him?
Oh.
Oh God, you guys are the worst. And she turns around and walks away.
Do you think we should stop him?
What's that?
Do you think we should stop him?
What do you mean by stop him? Like marry him?
No, stop him from killing people.
How do we do that?
We kill him.
Those are good. I feel like there's more to it if we marry him, you know? I feel like there's something that kid's not telling us.
You're welcome to do so.
No, I think something bad's gonna happen if I do. You know?
Yeah, you'll be
That's
turned
the
into a
reservation.
domestic wife.
Yeah. I don't want to be domesticated. I'm enjoying my feral life. Okay, let's murder the man. I have a dagger. Wait, no. What else?
I'm
What's
not
the
sure if
thing that I
he's
have?
human. And if he's not human, he should probably be stopped.
I mean, really, what is human? Mike?
Well, most humans aren't invisible.
True.
Most humans you've met aren't invisible.
Ho ho.
Yeah. I'm a visibilist. Anyone who's invisible is not a human in my eyes.
Mike's comments do know that are not the feelings of Corporate Crash Course. They are his own. Okay, I'm listening.
All right. Hi, I'm gonna
What
go. Yep.
Can I do a seance to predict the guy's future?
Why not?
Is that something you can do?
Yeah. I can use observation to perform a seance where I predict people's futures and contact the dead. Extra successes provide more information. Prolonged contact can cause spirits to materialize. On a failure, you're given inaccurate information, attacked, or suffer a condition.
Great.
So, like, not high risk.
Cool. Sure. You're gonna need a space to do this, or are you just gonna kind of do it in the woods?
I say do it in the woods. Who doesn't want to do it in the woods, you know?
Cool.
I think it's fine. There's lots of space here.
Yep.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Doing it in the woods.
Do it up.
Go. So is it just observation, or do I use an attribute as well? What's the attribute for observation?
Is
Empathy?
this one of your talents?
Yes. This is my talent. Page 51, if that is helpful.
I believe it's just observation.
Lame.
Oh wait, because observation
It uses
is...
empathy.
No, that would be an empathy and observation.
It would be both, or no?
Yeah, it would be both. And if Egil is helping you out, then I'll give
Absolutely
you
not.
No, you don't want to help me with the seance?
Purposely turned the other way from you, just munching on his deer jerky.
It's unnatural.
When you roll,
Okay.
it's unnatural. You're dealing with an invisible man with a frickin'
That's also
bowstring
unnatural.
made of the Milky Way galaxy.
I wonder what his arrows are made of.
I've got...
His arrows are made of pure love, Mike.
Oh, he's a cherub. Oh, that's fine then.
Yeah, perfect.
I've got 3 successes.
Great. Okay. So, three pieces of information.
About this guy's future.
Yep. So you see him living still at the cabin by the lake. You see him much older. So say like 20, 30 years down the road. He is standing on the edge of the water, and he is joined by a woman with fair skin and luscious red hair in a white dress. And there's 2 children around their legs. So we'll count all of that as one piece of information, I guess. Well, no, because I kind of described what she looks like, so that's 2 pieces. Yeah, I don't know. I think that should be good enough. That's his future.
Yeah, I don't think we succeeded killing this guy. He's gonna get married and have kids. Oh, what if we find the pale, luscious redhead?
Absolutely
not. If I can't kill it, I don't want any part of it. Nope. Absolutely not.
What's next? Burn his hut down?
Well,
would that disprove your spirit trickery?
What do you mean spirit trickery?
Alright, I'm gonna go back to his house.
Okay. It's like the middle of the day.
Yep.
So there's still nobody there.
I'll start a fire.
Just a fire? You're setting the thing on fire?
No, like in the fire. You said there's a fire pit in the hut, right?
Oh, I thought he was setting the place on fire.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I thought too. I'm starting a fire.
I made a callback to every building we've set on fire before, and then I thought you were doing it.
Okay, you light a fire in the pit in the center of the house.
Yep.
And then what? You just hanging out?
I'll wait.
Okay. Rest of the day goes past. Ingrid, what are you doing for the rest of the day?
I'm following him.
All right. Okay.
I'm gonna eat some of my venison.
All right.
Maybe I'll go for a walk around the clearing.
Okay.
Sit by the river. Is it a lake or a pond?
A lake.
Yeah. I sit by the lake for a bit.
Yeah. It's quite peaceful. Again, the sun kind of travels over top. It's kind of beautifully reflects off the water. And then eventually, as dusk starts to sort of settle in, you see the young native girl come walking down the path, and she's guiding somebody else with her. It's a woman that ran into you, or bumped into you as you were entering the town. Her face and hands are still covered. And the native girl, you hear her just kind of saying like, oh, don't worry, like, you know, it'll be fine. Like, just if you trust me, this will help. I think I know of a way to help you. Just so long as you know, I see that you're a good fit for kind of the situation. And then she realizes that the 2 of you are still kind of hanging there. She's kind of like, oh. So wait, so are you guys going to marry him? Is this why you're still hanging around? Well, I mean, come on, you keep showing up and you're not explaining to me what's going on. Like, what else am I supposed to assume? Meanwhile, the other woman is just kind of, I didn't hear anything about anybody getting married. What is this?
Does the woman look like the woman from my seance?
Can't tell her right now because she's wearing a hat and her face is covered and her hands are covered.
I'm trying to like
Fully covered.
look under her hat.
You look under her hat and you still can't really tell because from what you can see of her face, she is covered in scars. Like part of her nose is missing. She's got like chunks of her face kind of scarred and falling off.
Are you gonna marry him, pal?
Well, I don't know about marriage. She was just telling me that she is something that could help me with my condition. You know.
What would that be?
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I definitely have something that will help her. We gotta, see that she fits the criteria for it. First, just come on in. Like I said, we'll have you see my brother. We'll have you see my brother, and and we'll figure out if we can help you. I mean, you won't be worse off than you were before. If we can't help, we're gonna try. Okay.
I'm gonna follow them in.
Okay. You do see the brother eventually coming up the trail as well. He has another deer, which he thumps on the side of near the side of the cabin. Mike is Eagle still just hanging out outside.
Yeah.
Okay. He stares at you. Then he turns and walks in the cabin.
I'll follow him.
Okay. You're both standing inside now. He's looking at his sister and the new woman that's in there. And you hear the little girl basically just be like, okay, I need you to see, do you see my brother in the room? How many people do you see in here? And you see her kind of like look up, and she looks at Ingrid, and she looks at Eagle. And then she does seem to look at him. She's just kind of like, wow. There's 5 of us in the room. Okay. Well, just can you just tell me some things about my brother? Can you tell me what his shoulder strap looks like? It looks like it's made of rainbow. Is that possible? Okay, that's good. What about the bowstring? It's like coalesced starlight. The Milky Way condensed into a fixed string. And you see the sister like visibly like brighten up, which is kind of like, so you do see him, right? Yeah, I do. Great. Okay. Well, how would you feel about getting married to him? Well, I mean, it's not like there are many options for me at the moment right now, so if he's willing, I'm more than willing. And as she kind of says that, she like takes off her hat and her scarf and the gloves off of her hands, and you can see that she's got pretty bad leprosy.
Is it contagious?
It is. Oh, it is. But the little girl is just kind of like, nah, don't worry. Look, come over here, and she kind of leads the woman over to a corner of the room. She's got a small jar, and she starts to ladle out water from the jar into a small bowl. And as she starts to run the water over the woman's hands, and she starts to kind of towel it onto the woman's face, and you start to see the scars heal. And she pulls a mirror out of her pocket and sees herself, and she's just like, oh my god, thank you. And you're realizing now at this point too, Ingrid, that this is the woman from your vision.
Nice.
And she turns and she looks at the brother and sister, and she's just kind of like, how will I ever be able to repay you?
Well, you're gonna have to get married.
And he steps up, and the brother steps up and embraces her.
Price of a dermatologist these
and
days.
Says, love, we will love for the rest of our days. And that's it. That's where we're ending this one. You guys, I don't know, have some kind of party, and then you have to go back for your ship the next day. But the brother does definitely
staying for a party.
Does look at Ego and is just kind of like, I will not kill anybody else anymore.
Hey, I'm glad I didn't marry that guy. Seems like a freak.
Great.
Oh.
And on that one, I guess we should head to the out, because that was the adventure that I had for today.
Excellent.
I'm excited to take the boat to the train tomorrow.
Yay, more boat.
If anyone else asks me to marry them in this adventure, I'm gonna punch him in the gut.
It's gonna be the running theme now, Zoe. You know it.
Oh my god.
Thanks to those of you who have hung around. This has been a bit of a different adventure for us. I hope you have enjoyed it. This one was pulled from a Micmac legend of sorts. Trying to be a little more true to Canadiana, and it was fun. So we'll see what happens next week when our group ventures further into British North America, to Western Canada, which is now present-day Ontario. So we'll be back next week when we keep playing this, I guess. I've been your Game Master, Cody, and on behalf of Mike and Zoe and the rest of the Purple Crash Course team, thanks again. You can find us on YouTube and Twitch at Purple Crash Course, or TTRPGs on Twitter and Instagram.